time to react to one of my favorite historical war films. It's been a while since I watched this, so
You are so beautiful, it hurts.
It's your nose that hurts.
I think it's my heart.
oh my god. This movie had Titanic syndrome. Titanic was like a hit, so all of a sudden all these movies wanted to have these historical event backdrops with this cringy, cheesy love story going on in the middle of it.
A lot of people frown on the Yanks for not being in this war yet. I'd just like to say, if there are many more back home like you, God help anyone who goes to war with America.
Oh, yeah, alright. A British person said that? Yeah, okay.
Well, Pearl Harbor is too shallow for an aerial torpedo attack, and we're surrounded by subnets. All we have
They
to
did
worry about
believe
here
that,
is
yeah.
sabotage.
Yup, they added the wooden fins.
I don't understand how two whole carrier divisions can just disappear.
Whoa! What was that? Oh my god, dude! I don't remember this being in the movie. Is that supposed to be Japan? There's even a freaking... Oh my god, the sub! Oh my god.
Well, we're sending scout planes and wider vectors all over the Pacific, but they get nothing. Well, they could be anywhere in here.
I don't understand how two whole carrier divisions can just disappear.
They are actually trying to say that that is the Japanese fleet. If the Japanese had those back then, I think America would have gotten mopped up in the Pacific. Just saying. Who greenlit this shot to be used in this context, in this movie? Oh my, like, that is bad. That's actually insane. You would have to know absolutely nothing about World War II to look at that and think that that's the Japanese fleet. Oh my god. Bro, what did they... It looks like they had the turrets and missile silos removed. I don't... Bro, like, what am I looking at right now?
We are trying.
Alright. This... So this is accurate looking. It looks accurate. It looks way more accurate than that other shot of, like, the USS Kitty Hawk or whatever the heck they were showing with that modern U.S. war fleet. Some of them are, like, too blurry to make out how accurate. It looks like they have some submarines out in front, too. And, I mean, the Japs had submarines back then, and they used them on Pearl Harbor, so that is accurate, but I can't really see them. They're not in focus enough to tell what they are, so, like, they can kind of get away with this one. The carriers look accurate as far as Japanese carriers go. So this is kind of a smart shot. But the reason this annoys me is because how come they could do this here and that other shot we just saw? Like, what? Why did they even, like, why did they not use this shot, like, twice? I would have...
Flight of B-17s coming in from the mainland.
Historically accurate.
And we're into a heck of a lot of B-17s.
Those Jeeps looking accurate. I don't think they have those yet.
Destroyers reports having fired and sunk enemy submarine attempting to enter Pearl Harbor at 0653.
720.
We had Dakota delays, Admiral.
Relay this to Washington, recall the staff.
A lot of these shots look awesome, but all those modern looking warships in the background, dude, I don't see why they couldn't CGI out the background. They used CGI in the movie. You know what my problem is with movies is I prefer practical effects over CGI any day. But that's only if they can get practical effects that are historically accurate. An example would be like the movie Patton, where they literally, ironically, use patent American tanks, which didn't exist then until later in the Cold War era. and just painted them to look German. Stuff like that, I would much rather see a CGI German tank than them try to decorate an obviously American tank from a later era. That was another problem with Christopher Nolan, who loves his practical effects. When he made Dunkirk, the beach was just empty. There was like hundreds of thousands of people on that beach. And in the movie, there's like maybe like 500 dudes chilling. It was way more chaotic and crowded. I give exception to CGI in situations like that, where practically using practical effects, you cannot create the same scale. In my opinion, it looks weirder seeing real stuff, but not accurate. Like Dunkirk was supposed to be being bombed and in ruins, but it was filmed in Dunkirk, modern Dunkirk. So some of the buildings in the background, you're like, that's a modern looking building. So that stuff annoys me more than seeing CGI. All Quiet on the Western Front, you'd be surprised how many of those scenes with soldiers walking around, a majority of those like background extra soldiers running around are CGI'd in. They built these replica battleships for like the main set piece of Battleship Row. They should have just CGI'd out the background like they kind of did there. Like CGI. These are all great practical effects. It's just the ships don't look accurate at all. The only accurate part of this Pearl Harbor set is the battleships themselves, which at least they got that stuff right. I'm sure you can nitpick that certain things look inaccurate on the battleships, but for the most part, like just looking at them without looking too hard, they look the part. Like this CGI doesn't look that bad. I've seen worse. Oh yeah, that's accurate. All eyewitnesses who saw it blow up say it lifted the whole bow out of the water when it blew, which is insane to think about. That looks like CGI. That was a pretty dope action shot. Okay, that looks bad. That CGI looked a lot worse than the rest of the CGI. Dude, see, like those, like the background, all of those ships look modern. And it's just kind of like something that ticks me off. Even though it's in like the background and the average moviegoer is watching this none the wiser, it's just something that I'm like, why didn't you just use a little bit of CGI there like you used it? Like that one scene was just completely CGI. Yeah, like this scene right here, that's definitely all CGI. More than modern looking warships. But the practical effects, like they look like they're actually blowing stuff up on the decks of those things. Yeah, this is another cheesy scene. It's quite the waste of ordnance with them dropping all those bombs in that grassy field. As brutal as the Japanese were in World War II, they were not going to be wasting their time attacking civilian targets in this attack. Their goal was to attack the U.S. military bases and cripple our military. Maybe a few fighter planes might have strafed some civilian areas, but the scale that this movie's showing, just to add their little fiction in here, it's just, that's... Yeah, like all that bombing going on in the background would not be happening. Just a horribly cheesy, corny scene. Just terrible. That was so bad. Yeah, see that's what they would be bothering to strafe. These scenes messed me up when I was younger watching this stuff. This stuff was just absolutely horrible to watch. That's horrible, dude. And like that stuff's all like dudes really were trapped in the Arizona and the Oklahoma like that. These two actually getting airborne is based off true history. Obviously they're fictional characters, but two American fighters did get airborne, and they were like known as being, I think, like the only two to get up in the air and fight back. Yeah, this is a scene. This scene always stuck with me. That's just terrible, dude. And I'm sure plenty of that actually happened because they couldn't cut through the steel on these battleships. It was like the steel was so tough, the armor, that they just didn't have the stuff to cut it. Alright, so eventually it gets the Doolittle raid, and off the rip, that carrier looks like the Midway more than the... There was just so much cringe in this movie. That is not even the same ship they showed in the other scene! Like, bro, what? It just keeps changing, it's shape-shifting before our very eyes. You know, practical effects are superior, I agree, but in this case, no, not like that. It's like such a mix of historical accuracy with just like inaccurate, like ships. It's just like a weird thing to say. I guess just back in 2001, they really expected the average American to just not be as educated as, I guess, I am. On just looking at it being, oh, that's not right. I don't have to really watch anymore. The rest of that is another just more mixed, accurate and inaccurate history. You know, the whole crash landing, almost getting captured by the Japanese thing, that's all like pure fiction. It's just because of the love triangle that they had to have in this movie. It's probably where a majority of the budget went to, huh? Well, those are some classic scenes from the 2001 Pearl Harbor movie. So hope you guys enjoyed and laughed along with me at some of those insane shots. Catch you on the flip side. Peace out.